evening again to everyone on the call. If you did not hear it before, my name is Antoinette Willock, but I'm fondly known as Tony by everyone, Tony from Barbados. So when you see that in the chat, that's me. It's great to have you on this call this morning. And I am a lifestyle director one, like our presenter, recent. So yes, I am half of the Caribbean Bosses Network team of Tanya and Tony. And we are really happy to be representing Opulence on this call. But I know that you did not come to hear about me today. You came to hear about our wonderful, our illustrious presenter. So let me tell you a few things in case you didn't know about this wonderful gentleman. So LD1 Itzhak Salsky joined Opulence a year ago. He has achieved remarkable success in that short space of time. He earned the MGRS bonus an impressive 9 times. Wow. All while building a network of 17 direct partners and cultivating approximately 70 personal customers across 8 different countries and counting. He's not stopping. Itzhak's dedication extends beyond his achievements. He generously imparts his knowledge through weekly training sessions and presentations like the one today, enriching the Opulence community in Israel on a diverse range of topics. And he'll be enriching us today, I can tell you that. Beyond his MLM journey, Itzhak Salsky is a multifaceted individual, a renowned concert pianist, a skilled chess player, and a master of backgammon. He also heads his own translation business with fluency in 5 languages and having resided in 6 countries. Itzhak is now calling Belgium home with his family. So everyone, please help me to welcome our presenter for this morning, Mr. Itzhak Salsky. Please take it away, sir.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful group of hosting. You are, of course, LD1, and we can hear the confidence and the assuredness and how the love that you have for your audience and how you command the pre-call part and talk with everybody. It's really, you are doing a model job as a host. And I cannot wait to see you also joining our ranks as qualified host and everything else that we are going to be talking about today. Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Thank you. Hosting. Thank you very much, Itzhak.
I'm looking at and I'm looking here at the chat, and I see all of these beautiful people who come to be with us on this Saturday. And I say hi to everyone, to Cheryl, to Raymond, Julia from Israel, with everything we have in Israel, still coming to our show. Amazing. Maria here. And let's see who else we have. Maria and Bella and Mavis and Ian, and of course my personal mentor, the person who really taught me almost everything I know about our amazing company and field of MLM is Ronan from Egypt, and Liz and Cyril and Ian. Hi to everyone. It's been quite it was a dilemma for me whether I should be hosting this webinar today, just 1 week after the brutal attacks and massacres that we had in Israel. I personally felt overwhelmed with everything that happened. I'm very well connected to communities in Israel, not only in Opulence Global, but in many other ways. I have many friends there. I have family. I have customers. And I personally didn't suffer a personal loss. Nobody that I know of was hurt or harmed. But people all around me have grieving losses. And obviously, we all see the pictures and the videos in the media. And when Daniela contacted me and asked me to deliver this training on Saturday, it was a little bit of a hesitation. I finally decided that I absolutely need to go back to some kind of a routine, some kind of a productive routine. And there is really no way to do it, no way to go back than by actually hosting or presenting webinars, speaking to many people. This is more to lift myself up. But obviously, we have some very, very amazing content to share with you this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending where you are. So, okay, let's go down to business. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to start a very interesting and instructive presentation. And I believe that you will learn a lot of it from it, and it will also show you the second road for progress or for advancement in our incredible enterprise. Host, you need to allow me to share my screen.
I'll do that right away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to upgrade you to a co-host. Try now.
Here. So we are going to hold today a training about something that is known as the Host Club, QP, Qualified Presenter, and QT, Qualified Trainer program. As you can see already from the title, it is a three-stage program that is very unique and very special as far as I know. I don't know of any other company that has this kind of a graded approach. And let's take a few steps back and let's try to understand what this is even about. Why do we have this program? What is the rationale behind it? I see Brian joining. Okay, but let's continue. So multi-level marketing or MLM is something that many people do casually or without really understanding what they are doing. You know, they're joining, they're buying a package, they're buying a bunch of products, and not everybody takes it seriously. We have the 8 categories. Now, for those people who take it seriously, MLM is really a journey. It's a journey of exploration, discovery. You discover many things, a lot of data, you discover many people, you discover many markets, but also on the internal world, it is a journey of self-development and self-discovery. If you come to MLM and you've never been there in your life, like my case, or I don't know, maybe you dabbled in it, you tried it, you didn't really understand what it was, and you come new and you say, okay, this time I'm going to take it seriously. If you are serious about that, you come without much knowledge or without much experience, and you need to teach yourself many skills. Either teach yourself or train with your mentors or with your trainers and develop many skills. You need to learn, in some cases, how to talk with people, how to talk with people when you don't feel like it, how to relate to many different types of people, how to deal with questions, with rejection, how to present things without being jarred by being interrupted in the middle, how to respond to questions. You are in a constant learning curve of what you are presenting. But it's about talking. And before you know it, you suddenly have a small group of customers, maybe a couple of partners, and suddenly you need to grow to the next level. Because if it's customers, you need to learn how to support them, how to provide service. If it's partners, you need to learn how to train them, how to orient them. And suddenly the group begins to grow more and more. And before you know it, it becomes a little crowd. And another ability that you absolutely need to have is to lecture, to talk with people, to inspire people, to give bunch of information that they might not be aware of or they might not be evaluating correctly. And in MLM, there are so many fields of knowledge that you can be sharing with your people. If it's the science, if it's the method of operation, if it's keeping yourself motivated, if it's back office, there's so many different subjects that we can be lecturing about. And we all need to become proficient in that. It's another skill set that we need to add. Beyond recruiting, beyond selling, beyond training, it is a skill of not only public speaking, but really handling bodies of knowledge and being able to transfer the knowledge onwards. And everybody has to train themselves to do it, because if you don't know how to do it, you can recruit, you can train, but there is a limit to your growth. You cannot really inspire a group. You cannot have your downlines invite people to your events. In some way, you are limited and your growth is a little bit curbed. And that can be challenging. Now, just a minute here. This can be challenging. Now, in our company, there is a very special concept when our founder and CEO understood that in order to grow, people will need to have this capability of becoming a public speaker. And he wasn't just content with teaching us how to do it or training us in doing that. He even provided a program that, first of all, is graduated. You do it by stages. We are going to learn in the presentation the differences between the different 3 qualifications, what it takes to become a host, what you need to be able to do. Most of the presentation is about the qualified host and something about the 2 following levels. He didn't just content himself by providing us this program, but we can be actually paid as a second stream of income. We can be paid for delivering presentations and trainings. So basically, we are being paid for doing something that in any case we need to know how to do, and we need to do on a regular basis. It's like riding a bicycle. You never forget how to do it. But of course, if you do it more and more and more and more and more, you are a better bicycle rider or a better pianist or a better whatever it is you do. So there is a way for us to keep in shape, to keep doing this thing, to keep delivering those lectures. We get paid for doing something that in any case we had to learn how to do. This is absolutely amazing and astonishing. So we get a lot of support. It's not by accident, of course. We have the good fortune of being in a company that was founded by a person who taught himself to be a very successful partner in other MLM companies, to train himself to become a very successful MLMer. So he knows what it takes, he knows what is needed, and he has the viewpoint of us, the partners, what we need. And with that in mind, this program was built. And if we embark upon that route, we do it in order to forward our own MLM business, but also to learn how to present. And this comes with many, many benefits. We can be invited also to go and do tours or presentations or trainings in different areas, in different cities, in different countries. And yeah, we open for ourselves this route, which is a paid route, by qualifying through this program that we are going to learn this afternoon. For me, it's afternoon here in Belgium, for you in Canada, this morning. In any case, let's get started. The host club. What does it imply to become a qualified host in this amazing company, Opulence Global, the host club? This program is designed to develop rising stars, new partners and potential leaders into the habits of presenting the business opportunity and host the corporate calls monthly. So originally, this host club was a qualification cycle that would take a full month. We would become host of the month, and for a full month, we would be hosting all of the calls, all of the corporate calls for a full month. However, due to a great number of people who really wanted to qualify, and we had to accommodate many people, so currently and for the last year, it's only host of the half month. So for 2 weeks, we're going to be hosting corporate calls. And let's see more or less what are the requirements and what is the state of mind that we have as we host calls. First of all, if I'm going to qualify for a host, a corporate host, I need to remember that I represent the company for a month. Everybody who looks at me, he sees me as the company. It doesn't matter that I'm an independent partner. I represent the company. Sometimes we have partners who are not experienced or new. Sometimes we have guests in this presentation. When we are the host of the call, like the host did before I came here, I represent the company. I am the company. So, of course, we saw how it was done so excellently before I started. Our host this evening was definitely excited, but at the same time, professional, very courteous to everybody, and enthusiastic. We saw all of that. She was professionally dressed. I believe that she's a product of the product. Obviously, we use the products of the company in fashion, in personal care, in health, and we are, of course, in good shape, physically, mentally, and we are a product of the product. And we can use a virtual background or a banner. We host the call in a quiet place with a stable internet connection. Of course, we shouldn't ever be interrupted by kids or by pets. They should be taken care of. And this is something that we should do when we host a call. We always ask people, where are you coming from? What time is it? Where you are at? If they are there in some kind of an impossible hour, like 2 in the morning or 5 in the morning, we say, wow, what a dedication. Look at you. You are here in this crazy hour. That's quite amazing. So we share the excitement of the different city, the different country, the time of day. Exactly. Recognize those who are up late or early. So we need to also be familiar with time zones. If we are not very familiar, if there is somebody from an unfamiliar time zone, we can ask, oh, you come from Trinidad and Tobago. What time is it? And then the person says, it is now midnight. I say, wow, and you are here at midnight. That's incredible. Now, obviously, accepting to host calls is also a responsibility. And we can all have last minute emergencies. If that happens, we have to find a replacement. We need to know a couple of other people who can take the call in our place. And then we can say to Daniela Ferreira or to Ivy Louis, who are managing this entire project, we say to them, I'm sorry, Ivy, I'm sorry, Daniela, I cannot make it. However, this time Ronan can do it, Brian can do it, Renee can do it. We find somebody else who can do it in our place. This shouldn't really happen, but in those, outlier cases. And let's go to the next slide. So here on the right side, we see beautiful posters of the 4 corporate calls that happen every week, except for the leadership cocktail. We have the Safe Home Revolution, Product Crossfire on Monday night. We have the Forensic Network on Tuesday night. We have, of course, our Super Saturday special training, which is what you are now watching. And we have the monthly leadership cocktail. Of course, that's only once a month. And we should be hosting those corporate calls. It used to be for a full month, but now it's only for 2 weeks. Before we do that, before we host the calls, it is also our responsibility to promote them. Where do we promote them? First of all, on the Facebook group, it's called Opulence Global Nation. And we also promote it on our own worldwide chats on WhatsApp. Many of us have also national chats or network chats of our own leader, of our own LD3 or LD4. We promote it on all of the WhatsApp groups that we have that say Opulence on them. We promote that call before it starts. Ideally, a couple of days before that, but certainly on the same day. Let's go to the next slide. So, what do we do? How do we host the call? At some point, we finished hosting and it's time to start the call. So when it is time to start the call, we've seen our host do that. Our host was welcoming me. And then, of course, I was thanking the host, and the host was still online with the camera and with the microphone. The moment I was ended with thanking our host and I started thanking the audience, look what the host did. She was really a model host in every possible way. She muted herself. She turned off her camera immediately after I stopped acknowledging her and started with my own presentation. Now, we know that our host is still there in the background and following. It says here, pay attention to the flow of the call and always be prepared to be called upon. So obviously, if I cannot continue, or if I need a break, or if my internet becomes unstable, or if anything else happens that is untoward, the host is always ready to jump on the call. The host is also following questions. The host has obviously encouraged the audience to post all of the questions on a Q&A group. And at some point, there might be a relevant question. Maybe I made a mistake, or maybe I skipped a part, or maybe something that is very urgent is demanding my attention. And the host will jump and say, Isaac, there is a question from the audience. Why don't you answer it? Or maybe there is nothing specifically urgent, but there is already 4 or 5 or 6 different questions, and we can take a breather, and the host will enter and says, Isaac, listen, many people have questions. Why don't we take some questions and then go on with the call? So just because the host is with the microphone and the camera off, it doesn't mean that she's away. She's very, very alert, and she's ready to take over in case it's necessary. I knew it. I knew it. You can say hi.
Yes, she is. She's right here listening.
I had no doubt. I had no doubt. I noticed that this is a very, very highly qualified and trained host, and she is on the ready.
Thank you.
No
Thank
doubt.
you.
So you see a live example of pay attention to the flow of the call and always be prepared to be called upon. Now, what happens before the call? Before the call, the host was, we all saw that, except for those who came late or in the last minute. Those who came early, they saw the host welcoming very warmly everybody on the call, encouraging the attendees to write in the chat where they're from, and of course, to put the questions in a very separate box that is called Q&A. Now, sometimes we have people who suddenly raise their hands or do other distracting stuff. Obviously, in order to present the call, there is a special energy flow going, and suddenly people raising their hands, that can interrupt the flow of the call. The host is also there to protect us, the presenters, the trainers. So if somebody raises their hand, the host can lower their hand. They have this control to lower their hands. They can also communicate with them privately in a private chat. Why did you raise their hand? Do you have a question? Why don't you write it in the Q&A box? And of course, this is very useful. We can definitely, we are a company, of course, that is present in 204 countries, so many languages, so many cultures, so many alphabets, and there will always be names that we are not sure how to pronounce. My name is a great example. People always ask me, how do you pronounce that? And there are so many pronunciations. So if you are hosting and you see my name there, you skip it. You just go to the next one. Skip the names that you are not sure how to pronounce. And of course, we share
Itzhak, are you there? I think we have lost him for a minute. Let's just give him a minute. We have Are you there? Okay, we lost you for a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
Can you return to the last slide and finish off? Thank you.
Thank you, host. What is the last part that you heard?
You were talking about pronouncing your name, etc., and then we lost you.
Yeah, exactly. So my name is the one to skip, and any other name that you're not sure how to pronounce, you definitely skip. And we saw the host doing some other amazing things. For example, sharing the excitement and the comments from the chat. I know because I commented in the chat, and then suddenly the host says, look, Our presenter just said this and said that, beautiful, and she kept that attendees engaged by asking more questions, inviting them to write in the chat. So let's go to the next slide. Some prerequisites, some things that the host needs to master before the call even begins. Obviously, the host needs to know how to start, how to join, how to end a Zoom call, how to handle the chat, how to mute themselves and other people, how to turn on, turn off camera for herself, for the other people, many functions of the Zoom that definitely the host has to know. The host definitely has to know the username and the password of the company. And now we have this kind of thing that is called script. And here it says, read the bios of the guest speaker and trainer in advance until you feel comfortable to speak about them. And here I want to share a personal tip. This is a tip that I learned long ago. Sometimes in MLM, we have scripts. Not only as hosts, we have to say many things to start a call that are already scripted. What is a script? It's basically a fixed text that we know that we should read. For example, for me now as a presenter, everything on the slides is a script. When I read from you from here, when I say here, the host should welcome and encourage attendees to write in the chat where they're from and to put questions in the Q&A, I'm reading a script. Now, when I'm reading a script, there are two ways to go about it. I can either sound like I'm reading from a page. Welcome and encourage attendees to write in the chat. You see, this is very boring and no involvement and no familiarity. I should be reading the text from a script in a way that it's as if I invented that script and it's my script and I'm saying it spontaneously. And maybe I delivered this script 1,000, 15,000 times in my life. It should sound as if it's the first time the idea ever occurred to me. I just thought about it. I just came up with it. And I say, welcome and encourage attendees to write in the chat where they're from and to put questions in the Q&A, like I just invented it. So here it says, we need to read it in advance until we feel comfortable to speak about it. This is true for every script. For example, we have this presenter and we are the host and we say, okay, Isaac Solsky is a multifaceted personality. That's a very difficult word, multifaceted. What does it even mean? Check it in a good dictionary. But maybe we should repeat it in front of the mirror many times until we can be very comfortable saying it. Of course, Isaac Solsky is a multifaceted personality, multifaceted personality, multifaceted personality. Beautiful. We need to make the text ours. It should never sound like we are reading it from the page. It is a script. And by the way, some of those scripts can be modified or altered. Maybe we don't like the word multifaceted. We say, okay, it's a multicolored personality. It's a variegated personality. Isaac Solsky can do a bunch of stuff, whatever. We can change the script and fit it and adapt it to ourselves if we don't like it. The idea of a script is the text is there for us. After we change it around, at some point we know what the text is going to be, and this is our text, and we're going to be reading it. So this is a script. It has to be ours. It has to be comfortable for us, even though it was fixed, even though it was pre-written, it has to come from us. So this is one thing to master before the call. And in the same spirit, look at the announcements here. The announcements come at the end of the call, but before the call, we need to make sure that we are making ourselves comfortable. There is a build assist. Do I even understand what it means? What is the special in the build assist? Why is it a good thing? They're offering something in exit currency. Do we know what we're talking about? Maybe we don't know. That's not a problem. We can find out. We have enough time before the call. We contact our upline in the My5. We contact Daniela. What is this about the exit currency? Why is it important? What does it mean? We need to know it. We need to understand it. If we don't understand it, we are going to sound robotic and we are going to sound like we are reading a script, and we should never sound like that. So everything about announcements, the build assist, the specials, the next events, everything we need to be comfortable with before we start. We need to be sure that even though it appears on the screen, we can read it as if we just came up with the idea ourselves. Execution. Again, it's about carrying out the call, okay? Don't be scared by the word execution. Anyway, so the host has to log in 15 minutes earlier and start on time. This is good for anybody who is ever attending a call. Even if you come in order to visit, in order to attend the call, it's still a great idea to be there 10, 15 minutes before to interact with the other people, to see if the host is a good one, if he's doing a good job. If he's not doing such a good job, maybe we can give him a tip in private and say, hey, you remember you should ask them what time it is, where they come from, anything. I didn't have to do that, of course. I'm just giving in general. And as a host, we review the bios and the host script. What does this mean? The whole script is how we say, welcome everybody, welcome to the call, and even the script of what time is it, where you are from, oh, very well done for coming so early. And we review the bios, it's one last time just before the call starts. Just one last time, we rehearse it, maybe we did our rehearsals 1 day or 2 days before. We need to make sure that we are fresh for the call. If it's the first time we do that, we want to be sure that we don't have any kind of a stupid technical issue. The computer is out of battery. We don't find where we left the charger. The camera doesn't work, anything. If it's the first time when we are not really very practiced, come half an hour before. Make sure that you have the time to resolve any issue. After that, you can feel more confident and come 15 minutes before. And okay, this is something that we already talked about. I will just read from the page. We welcome the audience and we read the locations of attendees. If we don't know where they're from, we ask them. Now, at the end of the call, we have to thank the presenter or the trainer. We read the announcements, we promote the next events. Don't worry, once it's your turn to become the host of the month, there is going to be a WhatsApp group open for us, for you. And in that WhatsApp group, you're going to have Daniela and Ivy, and they're going to send you in advance all of the announcements and all of the bios. Sometimes they're going to send you hunting. They're going to tell you, look, Isaac Solsky is going to be presenting the call. We don't have his bio. Why don't you contact him and ask from him to send the bio, ask him if he has any special preferences. Sometimes they ask you to contact the presenter or the trainer. Be ready for whatever, but you're going to be prepared. You're going to have the announcement in advance, the bios in advance, everything you need to say, you will have well ahead of time. And of course, we still have a part in this presentation that is about hosting the events. Most of the people who are going to be hosting events are going simply to go through the 2-week round of Product Crossfire, hosting it, of course, Forensic Networker, Super Saturday, and if it's that time of month, the Leadership Cocktail. So you're going to be doing a routine hosting of the corporate webinars. However, in this presentation, you will notice that there is a lot of emphasis on hosting an actual tool. And this is something that comes later. At some point, you will become quite well known. If you start hosting events and more so presenting events and training events, you know, I can become a qualified presenter or a trainer, but when Rene or Reza or Ramin or Ronan are delivering a presentation or a training, I'm going to be their host, obviously. So it's not like what we are doing in these 2 weeks is ever going to be lost. We can be actually finding ourselves traveling with Rene or traveling with Sherry Zhao or traveling with any other leader to another country to host presentations and trainings and workshops. And the rest of this presentation, the part of the host refers to what happens when you are hosting a tour. Imagine that you go to a country that you never came before, and you are accompanying Rene, and Rene is going to deliver the tours, and you are going to be hosting. How do you support Rene in every possible way? First of all, you need to do everything that we talked about before. Dress professionally, be there 15 minutes before, read the bio.
Hello again. Isaac, can you hear me? Okay, let's just give him a minute. It happens, trust me. Isaac, if you can hear me. Okay. Okay. Unmute your mic again, and you can go back to the last slide. You were speaking about the bio.
Yes, what did I speak about the last?
The bio.
The bio. So
yes.
We are in this one, the execution.
We are not seeing your screen as yet. Share your screen.
Ah, of course. Yes, are we in this slide or on the one after?
There it is, yes, this one.
We didn't yet come to this. No, this one, execution.
No, execution. The scary one, execution.
Yeah, the scary slide, exactly.
Okay, over to you.
What was the last item that was fully heard?
Yes, you were speaking about bios, so you can continue from there.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that was quite a piece of the training. So let's go back.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously we made the preparation before we started the call. We made the preparation and we studied everything a day or two before. But just when we log in online, we should give one last look to the bio, one last look to our own scripts, just to make sure that we are fresh. We have those scripts, we know what we're going to say. Now, when it is the first time we give this kind of a call, it makes sense to come not 15 minutes before, but half an hour before, because we might have kind of surprising issues. Maybe we don't find our charger. Maybe we didn't know where the camera is. Maybe suddenly something doesn't work. If it's the first time and we are not very experienced, we want to be there well ahead of time just to be able to handle any eventual issues. Once we are more experienced, we can cool it a little bit, relax, be there 15 minutes before instead of 30. Now, when we come online, obviously we welcome the audience. We read the locations where they come from. If we are not sure, we ask them, hey,
And so we wait. Isaac, we lost you again. So we understand, everyone, that internet challenges happen from time to time. I certainly know about that. So we'll just give Isaac a moment to come back on. Thank you for stepping in, Brian. I think Isaac is back. We're on the same slide. You were just a little further down.
all right, all right. So where
Okay.
am I on the slide?
And you're speaking about the speakers.
Ah, yes, of course. At the end of the call, we should thank the speaker. That part?
Yes, you can continue from there.
So from there, very good. So of course, just one last time when we come on 15 minutes before the show, we need to make sure that we are familiar with the announcements, that we know about the next event, and this is something that we do at the end. After we finish the call, we say thank you very much, Isaac, for hosting this wonderful show, and then we have, of course, the announcements. How do we know about the announcements? We need to realize that when it's our turn, when it's our turn to host the company webinars, shortly before that, we will be invited to a special WhatsApp group with Ivy and with Daniela, Ivy Louis, Daniela Ferreira, and they're going to provide us everything we need, all of the announcements, all of the bios. Sometimes they're going to send us hunting. Sometimes they're going to say, okay, we have Isaac here who is going to present the show. Why don't you contact him and ask him for his biography, ask him if he has any special request for the hosting. You know, we can do that. Or they can simply send us everything, all of the bios, all of the events. We will be prepared for the call. We will have all of the material that we need. Now, the rest of this presentation is a little bit special, and I need to make a little bit of a preface, a little bit of a preview. Most of us who are going to register to the host club and we're going to host calls are going to qualify by 2 weeks of company webinars, the product crossfire, the forensic networker, the super Saturday training, if it's that time of month, the leadership cocktail. That's how we are going to qualify. But just because we qualified as a host and then we continue for presenter or for trainer, doesn't mean that we are done being hosts. We will keep being hosts. For example, let's suppose that we are already qualified as a presenter or a trainer, and suddenly we are invited to go to Italy or go to Singapore and give a company, for example, Rene or Reza or our CEO, or Ronan, Sherry, one of the big leaders, accompany them as they're going to be delivering trainings or presentations or workshops, and we are there as their hosts. So how are we going to go about it? First of all, we are, of course, going to apply everything we learned to this point. We are going to be dressed professionally. We are going to be a product of the product. We are going to know very well how to read René's biography as if we just wrote it ourselves. However, there are some other things that we need to know when we are hosting on the ground presentations and tours and shows. The rest of the part of the presentation that has to do with hosting is about hosting tours. You have been invited to accompany René to a tour in another country, in another city. How do you go about it? So imagine that René just delivered his presentation, and there are people in the audience, and some of them care about the product, some of them care about the business plan. René finished speaking. It is now our turn, and we say, okay, thank you very much, René, for this awesome presentation. How about anybody here in the crowd can decide which product they like the best, and everybody is encouraged to try it. Maybe we are giving free samples, as the case might be. Maybe we say, okay, you can purchase a sample or your first bottle of Fountain of Life. There are going to be stands for that. We encourage them to try the products. If anybody was inspired by our business tour and wants to launch his business, this is where you do it. Go to that booth where you can sign up for your new shop. We are going to find the pattern. We are going to find a script in order to encourage the guest to launch the shop or to try the products. Here are some examples of scripts. So the first one obviously is for the beginning. And we are going to say something like, welcome Opulence Nation and all of our beloved guests. Just notice that I changed one of the words there. We can do that. Welcome Opulence Nation and all of our valued guests. My name is Isaac Solsky and I have the honor to be your host tonight. Let me introduce you to our dynamic speaker who will inspire you to experience our revolutionary product lines and consider launching as a brand partner like we have. I launched my Opulence shop in 2022, and if I have to use just one word on how this business has impacted my life, that word would be freedom. I would love to tell you all about my story, but I'm sure that you are excited to get all the details about our e-commerce business model. Help me welcome LD4 René Liao, for example. And then I read his biography. René Liao joined our company, etc., etc. It's a biography that normally would be 1 minute, 2 minutes, something like that. I finish reading it, and I say, without further ado, it's time to get inspired. Let's invite René Liao, and he takes it from here. Thank you for helping us tonight to share. The call is all yours, and we deliver the call to René. And now we discover that our host actually was using a script when welcoming me to speak. It totally didn't sound like a script. It sounded so natural. And this is how a script should always sound. Very natural from ourselves. Now, remember that we are still in the field and hosting René or hosting Reza, and the two finished, and we thank them. And we say we want to encourage questions for the audience. We know that those people who are the most engaged, some people just want, to ask some kind of silly questions, but most of the time that's not the case. Most of the time people who ask questions are people who are engaged, care, they do care. They really want to know about the products or about the business. And most of the time, those people who dig deeper, who ask more and more questions, will be serious, will start a business, will be serious about the business. And just as they are engaged with us, asking our questions, later they will be engaged with their own downlines, with their own audience. These are the leaders, these are the people who are not afraid to communicate, and these are the people that we especially want to encourage. Prompt the guest to ask questions. We finish it, and then we give you an example for the script. Wow, wow, wow. I've seen this tool so many times, and still it is hard to digest everything that it has to offer. This is true. There's so much on offer on our tours. This is why earlier I chose the word freedom to describe Opulence Global. Our valued guest, it is now your time to ask questions, or perhaps you are ready to become part of our community as a brand partner. Let's go to the next slide. And finally, we want to direct the people who came to the tour, we want to direct them to a place where we can be efficient. Obviously, when we come to a certain area, to a certain zone, in order to give workshops, we are drawing to ourselves many, many people, because they realize that if we come there, even as the host, but mostly the presenter or the trainer, we come because we know our business, we have the charisma, we can keep an audience riveted, we can interest them, we can show them things that they will be fascinated and wowed about. But in the area, there are going to be many other brand partners, many other partners. These people paid money in order to come to the tour. They brought guests, and they want those guests to buy products. They want those guests to register. This is our time to direct the guests and the visitors, each one to the person who brought them. Obviously, we didn't come there to ramp up business for ourselves, but to help the local partners to bolster and boost their own scenes by giving the kind of training that creates an event, that creates a wow. They are all going to come, they're all going to meet up, they're all going to bring their own people. And now it is time to remind to the guests were listening to us all the time. If we were the host, they were listening to the presenter, to the trainer. Now it is our time to direct their attention back to the person who brought them and not to us anymore. How do we close the sale? So we offer choices. And we say, okay, either way, whether you want to become a partner or a customer, either way, the person who invited you to this call has some recommendations on how to launch your own Opulence global business and which product you should start with. Until this moment, that partner who brought his guest, he was listening to us. And now we also remind to the partner that now he should be a point of reference for his guests. And the guest says, oh, wow, okay, I was brought here by Mr. Mark. So let's ask Mark, why did you invite me to the call? What should I be doing? How do I start my business? How do I try? Can you answer some of my questions? We encourage dialogues inside those little groups or bigger groups in the audience, those partners and their guests, we refer them back to them. And we can say also, if you want the protection of the Safe Home Revolution products for your family, you can become a VIP shopper today for free. Take advantage of our rewards program, start earning free Opulence points with your purchase, as well as a 10% rebate in shopping credits when you refer your family and friends to our online shop. We just gave a bunch of information. So the guest is going to go to Mark and says, what was that thing that the host just said? What is about the rebate? How do I get a rebate? Oh, wow, I can get a rebate. Wow, tell me more. How do I get a rebate? We encourage their interest and we encourage dialogues inside the groups. The partner is going to register some new customers, a couple of new partners. He's going to be very happy about the event that we held there. The next time we come to the area to give more events, he's going to promote it like crazy because he understood what it does to his business. Now, what do we do after the tour as the host? We are going to be sharing the following events. We are going to share them with the audience in the call, but also on social media. We're going to be hosting a series of events over 2 weeks, so we can also share business news and updates in the event and after it. And sometimes we also share a build assist. This time we have a terrific build assist that our host is going to show all of us. There is still a couple of days left, so just it's the last minute. Maybe we can still benefit from it before it's over. Closing words. How do we close off as the host? We can say this. We can say thank you for all of our partners and guests tonight. We are looking forward to you all in Opulence Nation Family Facebook page this week, where we welcome home all of our new brand partners. If you decide to launch your own Opulence business tonight, this tour happens 5 nights a week, so you can invite your guests right here. This is the link, this is the place, that night, that hour, and start building your residual income. Invite your guests, build your network, come to the events. We have them 5 times a week. I am sure that the Opulence brand partner who referred you is expecting your feedback. So don't forget to contact them right after this call. We always refer them back to the person who brought them. We are pushing all of the power to the partners who are bringing us guests. They're pushing power to us when they're promoting our talks, our events. We are pushing power back to them by reminding the guests who sent them, who brought them. This is really, really important. We are a community and we should all be pushing power to each other. Bye for now, all the way from Brussels in my case. Thank you and see you all on the next call. Wait, this is not over. We still have a couple more slides. Okay, so this is it about the qualified host program. Once we did our 2 weeks of hosting the program, we are qualified as a qualified host, we want to go to the next stage. The next stage already gives us a very fancy badge, which says like QP, Qualified Presenter by Opulence Global. And let's read this slide and see what it says. Qualified Presenter Program Overview. The Qualified Presenter Program is designed to help partners practice and develop new skills to present products, host calls, and conduct business presentations successfully. In order to participate, here you need already to be a lifestyle advisor and above. Just being a brand partner already doesn't cut it. You can host, but in order to present, you need to be an LA and above. LA plus, or all of the leadership levels above that. We submit our host form from the back office. You go to training tools, you find the host form, you say, okay, I attest, I've been doing 2 weeks of hosting, I'm qualified as a host, now I want to go to the next step. I want to become a presenter. Of course, we had already to learn how to use the Zoom functions as a host, so it's a good moment to revise them to make sure we didn't forget anything. Maybe take our upline for a one-on-one Zoom call, make sure that we really know everything. If we have any doubts, we really want to go up to the next degree of perfections and efficiency in using the Zoom functions. And of course, we need to be following the host script in order to know what the host is doing. We will have our own scripts, of course, as a presenter, and we must have been a host. Here it says for at least 1 month, but it's already for at least 2 weeks. Now it's easier, now it's faster. If you come from Europe or from Israel, it's 2 weeks of staying up at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning and not a full month. It is definitely easier. And we need to send a video of a tour that we've done for certification. It is very, very easy to certify as a presenter. That's the easy part. We don't have to stay up. We just have to conduct 1 presentation. Even we can do it alone. We can record our Zoom talk and talk to ourselves, or talk to our aquarium, or to our cat, or to our anything, or to our family, or even actually do a presentation for a live audience, or simply present, do a tour for our country, for our own network. Whatever it is we did, we film it and we send it to the company. Here, Daniela, please see, I delivered the presentation from start to finish. I was following the tour of the company as it is updated from time to time. Now there is this new tour with the build assist. I was doing this most recent presentation or previous one. Here's a video, go over it, please. Okay, so Daniela will take a day, a week, 2 weeks. At some point, she will get back to us. Congratulations, you qualify. Or she says to us, wait a minute, there is some kind of a problem with your presentation. You skipped a couple of slides. You mixed the order. You didn't quite deliver well that part. Okay, we can take corrections, deliver another presentation. At some point, the presentation is really good, and we get the good news. You are qualified as a presenter. What does it give us? What happens once we qualified as a QP? Corporate certified QP will apply for spot on the corporate calendar in the back office. We go to tours, we see the tours in our zone or in other zones, and we say, fine, we want to give a presentation on this day. If we're a qualified presenter, we can receive Opulence points. The Opulence points give us free products. When we host or present one of the 5 corporate tours, we make $20 an hour in free products for doing presentations. Remember, by the way, this is a skill that we need to do. It's very difficult to recruit a new partner if you cannot present the compensation plan, the program, the products. You need to be able to present it, to tell a story, to give the information for somebody to say, fine, I want to work with you. I want to join as a new partner. This is something that we need to know to do anyway. The company helps us by training us, by qualifying us, and finally, we even get paid for that. We get $20 an hour in free products. So, for example, there is a Monday business tour at 7 p.m. We deliver it, we get 2,000 Opulence points. Now, we can actually deliver those events even before we are qualified as a presenter or the trainer. The only thing is we cannot get paid for them. Once we are certified, then we can get paid for the presentations we deliver. Once we are certified as qualified presenter, there is one further step. It is called qualified training. This is the highest level. And in order to qualify to that level, we need to present corporate trainings of 7 different subjects. So we will deliver 7 or more presentations, or trainings actually, 7 or more trainings, at least one on each of the 7 required subjects. And okay, let's read from the slide first. Qualified Trainer Program Overview. The Qualified Trainer Program is designed to develop leaders and presenters to become trainers all over the world. Once you have been certified as a presenter and you continue to grow your organization, you can qualify to become a qualified trainer. Here there are some new prerequisites that we didn't have before. A lifestyle advisor or above can become a qualified presenter, but once you have that level, if you also want to become a qualified trainer, first of all, you need to become a lifestyle director 1 and above. You need to begin to have a network. You need to have some partners that you have recruited, that you have trained, that they have also added some of their own partners. You need to have some kind of a scene already going on for yourself. Otherwise, what are you training? You need to be training. Actually, it's quite a small minority of partners in any MLM company that can reach a leadership status, even the first one, even the initial one. If you check the statistics, I believe that it's a rather small percentage of people who make LD1 and above. So once you make that level, you definitely have something to teach. You have some value to give, and most of people will look up to you. And they say, okay, this people, at least to some degree, he already made it in MLM. He knows what he's talking about. We should listen to him. We should follow his training. He's already talking from some level of experience. So we need to be at least a lifestyle director 1 or higher. Must have been the host for a month, but now it's already for 2 weeks and not for a month. Must be certified as a qualified presenter. So he was a host for 2 weeks. He sent a video of himself presenting a tour. He has to be LD1. And of course, once you are a qualified trainer, you receive this cool badge here that says QT, Qualified Trainer, Opulence Global. You receive the badge and you are beginning to be paid professionally. Let's see what that means. By the way, this would be a great program even if we were not paid. These are all skills that we need. We all need to be able to deliver trainings, and we all need to deliver trainings regularly. People will come to watch us, to be inspired, to want to do the same, to grow their own business, to see, oh, wait a minute, Isaac is delivering a training. I also want to deliver a training to my network. So they begin to grow their business and grow and grow and grow. But in addition, we also get paid. And let's see how this works. So corporate certified qualified trainers will apply for spots on the corporate calendar. The same thing. We go to this beautiful calendar and we can take any show we want. We simply have to apply for that. We say, hey, Ivy, hey, Daniela, can I take that show for that week? Can I do the product crossfire this week? Can I maybe do even the forensic network training this week? Maybe we can ask, we can say, we can receive a no, we can receive a yes. At some point, we receive those kind of events to deliver. And then corporate events become paid events. If you're a qualified trainer, you will receive Opulence currency. Qualified trainers, remember that now that the Opulence currency will soon be convertible to a cryptocurrency. to exit, which is wonderful. We can pay for products, we can pay for shipping, we can pay for starting a new shop, we can do a margin, amazing things with the Opulence currency. We're going to learn more about that in 2 more weeks from our CEO on the 28th. I'm more excited for that. However, we receive Opulence currency, exit. Qualified trainers receive $40 an hour in Opulence currency for training. For example, let's say that you take the Monday product training, the product crossfire at 8 p.m. No, product training is at 8 p.m. and the product crossfire thing is at 10 p.m. Anyway, we get $40 in Opulence currency. If we deliver the Super Saturday training and we are already qualified as trainers, this training now is also $40 in Opulence currency. Now, leaders make $75 an hour in Opulence currency when they are training, for example, the leadership cocktail. Okay, so if you come and you feature in the leadership cocktail and you're already QT, that's $75 in Opulence currency. And if you deliver the forensic networker training, that's $100 in Opulence currency for that training. Now we have 5 weekly corporate tours, we have 4 weekly corporate trainings, and people who are not certified as trainers can click and do the event, of course, but they cannot get paid until they are certified. Let's see what the last slide in this presentation has to offer. Well, simply thank you for hosting our monthly call. Everybody who comes to this program, we thank you in advance for venturing to this program, for venturing on a journey of personal growth and development, for picking up the courage and the affinity and the love to actually take a crowd of people who are already trained partners and come to listen to us, and hosting the calls and presenting the calls and training in the calls. This is a beautiful journey and everybody is welcome on the ship. Thank you very much, and I return the call to our amazing host.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Can you hear me, Isaac? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, seems like I'm having some internet challenges here again, but that's quite okay. I just want to commend you again for actually stepping this presentation under the circumstances. As I said before, to those who weren't on the call, but I want to tell you as a family, we are here for you, Ronan, Yulia, all of the others who are associated with what's happening there. I'm just telling this family that this is such a sign of strength, and we commend you for it. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. And also, we actually did it today because a lot of what you were saying happened. And as I saw on the chat, many persons were saying that we have live action in terms of what you were explaining. And it was all very clear. And I want to say to everyone on the call that we really need to look up to our leaders such as Isaac for what he's done today and step up. It does not hurt. This is just really a growing process, a growth curve, and you need to jump on board. So thank you so much again, Isaac, for what you did today. And I'm looking to see if there are any questions in the chat. Does anyone have a question? You're only getting kudos, my dear.
That's wonderful.
Kudos to you.
I'm now going over the chat. It's really a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for all that you're saying, all these wonderful sentiments. I know that appreciates them. And now, if we have no other questions, I guess we can go over to the announcements. Okay, now I'm gonna just stop my video for the announcements because it might assist in terms of how Zoom is behaving. So you can stop, Isaac, and then I'll share my screen. Thank you so much. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, great. Let me see if it will allow me to do the slideshow today. Okay, here we go. So, as we've been announcing for the past couple of weeks, the Night of the Stars is coming up next Saturday. Please be sure to be on this call. I know this is usually a don't want to miss call, but it has a little edge next week. It's going to be a live presentation for everyone who is in and around the office, our headquarters. You can join live between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. next Saturday, because it's also going to be Vision Board Day. And as you would have heard many leaders say, this is what has taken them forward from the beginning of their journey through success to where they are now. And of course, they're going to continue. Our presenters and hosts will be Daniela Ferreira, Ricky Kilau, and LD4 Renee Liao. For those who want to join online, of course, you can register for at the normal Saturday live training code. Oh, and this is something that we are just dying to hear. Our esteemed CEO, Ramin Mesgalu, he already mentioned, he gave us a little hint last Tuesday, telling us that this upcoming call is going to be like a fireside chat with all of us. So make sure that you are on this call. It is a must attend event. He's going to be updating us about product pricing, new payment system, and those, as Isaac said, who don't know anything about the exit rollout, he's going to be delving into that a little deeper, more natural health product development, and the vision for the future of Opulence Global. We know that we're definitely going to the billion, but I know that all of the information that's going to be shared here is going to assist us with understanding why we are a part of this journey with this magnificent company. So don't you miss it. This will be on October 28th at 10 a.m., your Saturday live training. And you have one more day, everyone, to take advantage of the double X bonus promotion, the Build Assist promotion. For those who want to grow their teams a little larger, you have 24 hours to get out there and try and bring those persons who have said that they are happy with this company and the information that you have shared, bring them on board as a lifestyle advisor plus, and all of the regular features that were available before are going to be there, but the exit token is going to be doubled. So let's get everyone on board. Again, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if I may say so myself, these build assists are becoming more than a once in a lifetime opportunity. So stick with this company and enjoy the prizes and surprises that are available. 24 hours, let's get moving. And now we have our Asia conference that's coming up. I know everyone on the other side of the world, you are you can't wait for our Asia conference. Our SVP, Sanaz Human, Rennie Liao, Rico Kilau, Amarjit, Jocelyn, and John will be available on Saturday, November 18th, and Sunday, November 19th, to blow you away at this Asia conference. And we know that many partners from around the world will be joining. So please get your tickets now. You have until tomorrow to take a part of the early bird special. So please get your tickets. And those of us who can't attend, of course, we will be online for this conference. So We look forward to it. And last but not least, we are looking forward to the North American cruise. This is what I'm calling the Love Cruise. It takes place on that week when Valentine's Day is going to be featured. And what a lovely way for our family to celebrate all of the successes and all that has happened during the last year. So make sure you can get all your arrangements in place to be on this call. But most of all, if you meet the qualification of Lifestyle Director 2 by December 11th, 2023, you can be a part of this cruise for free. So let's see how many of us can get on this cruise. On the Freedom of the Seas, one of my favorite ships. I have really fun memories of this ship, so I just can't wait to be back on it. All of the details for this cruise are in your back office, so let's see you there. So most of all, I want to say thank you. This is a heartfelt thank you to everyone for allowing me to be your host for the last. Everything that Isaac shared today is what you need to know and more. Being your last couple of weeks has really been an enjoyable experience, but moreover, what I enjoy most about this company is the support that you always get from leadership. So those who are thinking about it, stop thinking about it, step up. Let's get you in front of these cameras and sharing this wonderful business with everyone in our Opulence Global family. Isaac, it's been a pleasure. Brian, all of the other leaders with whom I've hosted for the last 2 weeks, thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, you're doing an absolutely tremendous job as a host. It was such a pleasure to have your support. I understand that you also dove in when my internet was unstable. So you really proved yourself in every possible way. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And everyone, thank you. I'm seeing everyone, all of your messages. I thank you so much for your support. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I'm expecting to see the same type of fire from the next host. Who will it be? Join us on Monday for our product training call and product crossfire. And we'll see who's the next person in line to represent this fabulous company. Thank you so much, everyone. Are there any questions before we go? I feel the love. Thank you, Isaac. And we send you lots of love, continued prayers. And I hope that this conflict comes to an end soon.
We all do.
Okay. So everyone, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, morning, evening, night. This is Tony signing off. You'll see me in the chat next week. Have a great day.